Hello, it's Joe from Tools for Working Wood, and I'm here with a tool introduction for you. Today, we're going to talk about work holding. Tools for Working Wood has a lot of different solutions for work holding. What work holding means is anytime that you need to clamp, stick two or more pieces of wood together, or anytime you need to take a piece of wood and secure it to your work surface, right? That's work holding. We have a lot of different ways of doing that. There's a lot of different ways out there. Most of you are probably familiar with our Gramercy Tools Hold Fast that allow you to secure your wood to a bench top. There are also, of course, bar clamps and other types of clamps that exist that can help you hold wood together or secure it to something. The majority of clamps that we carry here at Tools for Working Wood are from Dubuque Clampworks out of Dubuque, Iowa. And Dubuque Clampworks is a clamping powerhouse of a small family business. We love the work they do. We love who they are. And the majority of all work holding solutions we have are Dubuque Clampwork clamps. Now, in addition to things like the 24-inch bar clamp or the megalith 72-inch bar clamp or all the ones we have in between, they have a variety of specialty clamps such as the cam clamps, which are really good for a softer but still secure clamping. A lot of our customers, for example, are luthiers making violins or guitars, and these allow you to clamp a piece down that you're working on without using King Kong-like strength that might just crush it when you screw it down completely. But the clamp that we're looking at today is from Dubuque Clampworks as well, and the tool we're introducing is something you might have seen already, might know, might already have some of, but it's the wooden handscrew clamp. And this is an incredibly versatile tool. It's incredibly useful, regardless of what kind of woodworking you do, whether you're a DIYer and hobbyist woodworker like myself, or a cabinet maker, furniture maker, contractor, etc. We feel that these are tools that everybody should know, and probably most people should have one or two of standard size, smaller size, or even some of the larger ones as well. What we want to do is just tell you why it's such a versatile and useful tool and has been for such a long time, as well as show you some of the different things that you can do with it. So if you've never seen one used before, this is a great party trick for folks if you want, but very simple to use to open and close the jaws. You're just going to go bicycle with it, right? And that allows you to, in a parallel way, open and close the jaws. The design is really simple. I love tools like this because I can understand how they're made and how they're used without anyone really having to explain it to me. They're that simple. Wooden handscrew clamps come with the jaws, the two jaws, which actually do the clamping of the wood, whether it's two pieces together again or to a work surface. And then you've got these threaded rods that go through the jaws, attached to handles. And as you can see, it lets you open and close at any angle. And that angle piece is important because one of the things that's unique about wooden handscrew clamps is that they do allow you to clamp angled pieces as well as parallel pieces like most clamps can do. Now, because it's got such a simple design with so few parts, it is a very low maintenance tool. It'll last a long time. You don't have to do much upkeep with it, and it's very hard to break them. Although if anyone could, it's probably me, but I haven't yet. It also means that, for example, here in the Northeast, in the New York area, any antique store or garage sale on the weekend you go to, you're probably going to find the obligatory plane, old hand plane, as well as a few of these wooden handscrew clamps. And pretty safe bet that they're still going to be in great working condition, even if they're decades or even a century old. That said, we think the Dubuque Clampworks handscrew clamp is a bit of a cut above the rest. And if you want to learn more about that, as well as some tips on maintaining them, you can check out our website, toolsforworkingwood.com. As you probably already know, we tend to go deep nerd on our tool history and design. And there's a lot of information about these clamps on there. What we wanted to do is just show you some of the examples, the different ways that you can use these clamps. And so for one example, right, now this is just holding one piece of wood, and I'll tell you why. If I had a smaller piece of wood like this, and I needed to take it to a router, like on a router table or a scroll saw or something like that, if it's a small piece of wood, I might not want to put my hands right near the cutter on the router or the blade on a scroll saw or a similar tool. What you can do is you can simply use this, clamp the piece of wood in there. You've got a nice flat surface, right, with the wooden jaws that are going to glide easily on the table of the router or whatever tool you're using. And then you can go ahead and use these to get a smooth and simple and safe movement as you cut the wood that you're working with. So that's one way of using it. Other thing you can do, of course, is go ahead and clamp more than one, two or more pieces of wood together for a glue up, because relative to, for example, the bar clamps we showed earlier, the jaws tend to have a much longer area of clamping. You can get pretty good pressure. So if I was going to use this clamp to clamp these two pieces together, we're almost completely covered. So you're getting that even clamping as opposed to just an inch and an inch or whatever the case might be with a different clamp. As we mentioned earlier, you can also get wide angle clamping, right? So if I have two pieces that are angled and I needed to glue them together, I couldn't do that with something that just goes parallel. So that's one way of using it, is gluing pieces of wood together. The second application for hand screw clamps that's most often used is going to be taking a piece of wood and securing it to your working surface. Now, this gorgeous bench was made by Joel Moskowitz here at Tools for Working Wood. I don't have one of these at home, so just picture my dining room table, if you will. You're going to get the jaws open to a width that works, not angled. Obviously, we're going parallel here, and then we're just going to go ahead and clamp it down. And once it's clamped down, that's really not going anywhere. You can go ahead and work on the wood. Again, depending on how large a clamp you have, you've got pretty good coverage here in terms of the size of the piece of wood that it can hold down. So you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do in terms of finishing and or anything else with the wood once it's secured. Now that's a very simple, straightforward way of using this to secure to a work surface. But one more method that we have is actually using these as a makeshift bench vise. So we've got our piece of wood secured in one of the hand screw clamps, and now we're going to take a second one and go ahead and clamp that clamp down to the table. So this is why it's good to have a pair. You can do a lot of creative stuff like this. So now it's all secured. This wood is not going anywhere. So we can use a plane on this. We can use one of our Gramercy tools, spoon carver's draw knife, and go ahead and do whatever we need to do. It's not going to go anywhere. As with all woodworking and all tools, get as creative as you can to solve problems and do what you need to do. A lot of people, when they have these wooden hand clamps, one thing they're going to do is they're going to cut out actual notches on either side. And cutting out those V notches allows you, maybe you guessed it, to go ahead and clamp down dowels and other round pieces of wood. That allows you to work on round pieces as well without them spinning on you. There are a lot of ways to use this. They're really incredible tools. That's why they've been around so long. Dubuque makes some of the best ones there are. We have them available in a wide range of sizes. If you have any questions or want to learn anything more about these clamps, feel free to get in touch with us. Find out more online at our website at toolsforworkingwood.com. Thanks a lot.